All right, well, we're going to attempt something different here. We're onto a different project. As you can see behind me, we've got the spray painter. We're going to attempt or learn how to paint the exterior, because we're going to start with the shop. So if we screw things up, it'll be hidden and we can fix it before we actually do the main house. I don't want to start over there and get that going. We'll definitely get to it in this video, I'm sure, but we're going to start with the shop here and see if we can master learning how to use the sprayer and the paintbrush. My assistant said she's going to paint today, so we'll see. We're all dirty from moving sheetrock because that project continues as we're going, but we're going to we're going to start another project here. We're going to get to exterior paint, so let's get at it.
Crikey, it's a rare experience. The male actually reading instructions.
Right?
So we poured some water into this bucket, first of all.
It's kind of a weak setup. How are we supposed to do that? You should put that one in front of the other one. It doesn't give you much, does it?
So you're gonna have two buckets, one with water and one with paint?
Something's awfully watered down. Here we go. Yeah, we picked out the paint that exactly matches the primer color. So all this work and effort, there's not really any color change. It's just going to protect the siding from everything.
Well, and hide the caulk.
Yeah,
The caulk stains.
Yeah, but it's just kind of a pisser.
Well, we liked the color.
Obviously. Well, as you can tell, we're getting the hang of it. It's coming along. We're moving pretty good with the gun now that I figured out how that works. That's not too shabby. So we're making pretty good progress. The cardboard helps not to paint the soffit. So we'll just keep at it and see where we get. Well, there you have it. We got our first side done. It's pretty slick. I'm pretty happy we got this little sprayer here. $400 investment that was well worth the time and energy, because trying to hand paint this thing is just a nightmare. So that's worked out pretty good for us, and we're just going to keep on trucking with the shop. All right, now we're on this side, of the front side of the house. I'm gonna try and do the peaks with the ladder. I'm definitely gonna have to get a lift here for the house, but I think for this one I may just try and force it with the ladder and see what we get. So my assistant here is bailing out as usual, so it's gonna bed down to a one-man show. But as you can tell, she's got some paint on her, so that shows she worked out here today. Got a little bit done, and we'll just keep on keeping on. We got most of the front here done. You can see where I stopped up here. I'm gonna have to drag out the big ladder to do that, and the spotting is just because it's drying, but it's coming right along, and we'll just continue on by ourselves. And we wave goodbye to our assistant.
Got rid of all the caulk.
Yes, we did. All right, so we brought out the big ladder. I'll see about getting this up here, and that should finish off the front. So we'll get at it. Well, we managed to get our first coat of paint on the shop. There's this stuff, the primer sucks in a lot of paint. The front came out pretty good, but the sides, you can see some wavering. So we're gonna do a second coat, and then we'll also get busy on all the trim work. We started out, as you can see, our first set of white that we got is way too white. So we went and had it mixed to be even with the actual soffits, to where we have more of a color blend than just a stark white paint on the trim. Just wouldn't look right. So we'll put a second coat on that. We'll go back to that later. I want to try and get onto the house and move that direction as well. So we went today and we picked up the lift. The problem is that here we are in the afternoon, and we're having a heat wave here in Montana. So right now it is about 91 degrees. And I was going to start with this side of the house, but unfortunately, it's just way too hot to do. So I'm going to switch direction and start doing at least some trim coating stuff. And I'll get this side. I don't want to start moving the lift all around and all over the place. So I'll hit this thing first thing in the morning and spray paint it. And then we'll just start working our way around the building. Because what happens is in the afternoons, this gets hot and stays hot all afternoon. And as you can see, the back side of the house on this side is already starting to shade up. So we can get to that. And then the other side, the north side of the house, stays shaded all year, or all day. So we're good there. And then the front of the house isn't a problem. Yeah, using the lift, I don't think I can get in here. I've still got the sheetrock here. We're still working on sheetrock, but overall we're getting closer and closer. But there's no way, I don't think, to get the lift in here. I might be able to get it in between, or at least back it right in here and see if I can get that with the sprayer. If not, I'll just have to get that front gable with by ladder. But we'll get the front painted with a brush as much as we can, and then we'll continue on with the rest. I don't want to do any overspray on the windows, and I'm not going to plastic everything off like I probably should, but I'm just going to ginger it and see what we get. One thing that makes this paint really tough is it goes on the same color as the primer, and so it's hard to tell where you're at and what needs to be gone over. So I'm going to start, like I said, around things like this beam and stuff like that. Do it by hand rather than try and mask it and spray it. We'll just go old school. like I said, it's you can kind of see where it's at, so let it darken up, but it goes on the same color as the primer, so it makes it kind of tough to be able to see exactly where you're at. But we'll just kind of keep at it and see. Like I said, these tough areas like this I'm just going to do by brush, and then we'll switch over to the actual sprayer. So on the house painting itself, I managed to get this part done here. The reason why I didn't get to film it is it's been like 97 degrees out, and the heat on the direct sun, since there's really not much shade out here right now, the direct sun just cooks my cameras and shuts them off because of heat value. So we'll just get back at it here. Now we got a little bit of cloud cover for a while today. Again, we're going to be in the 97. That's Montana for you. We're either -10 or hot and windy. So we'll just get back at the painting and see what we can get done. While I have the lift here, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get all the high points done, because I can do the rest from the ladder with the sprayer, but I'm trying to get all the high points done first with the lift, so I can return it and save myself some money and then move on. So we'll get back at it. All right, now that I got the high peaks and all sprayed down to a ladder, I can get it with the level. Now we'll move to the south side of the house, which catches the most sun all day long. Now that I've got cloud cover, I'm going to try and see if I can knock that out before that wall gets too hot. So even with the heat of the day, like I said, the heat's playing hell with my camera, so I didn't get to film this much of this side. The camera shut down, but I got the entire north side completed except for the trim work. That lift is coming in real handy on the high spots. I have one more high spot at the front of the house right here, and we'll get that probably tomorrow morning when it's cooler, because I got the sun right on this side of the house. But I'll be working on the front over the windows. But we're making good progress on the paint. I figured out the spray painter pretty quick, which is a good thing. It saves time having to do double, triple coats. But I have some other areas I got to touch up, like around the power and all that. I'm gonna have to do that by hand, just because I didn't want to overspray and have it look like hell. So we'll just do that with the brush and get going. But we've got 3 sides of the house done. Like I said, we got this side of the house, and the back side is good, except for, again, we got trim work to do. We also got to find some better paint for the trim, but we'll work on that next. But overall, it's coming along. I mean, I got this back side of the house all completed. It's looking pretty sharp. So the south side of the house is done, north side of the house and the back, and now we are onto the front to try and get that nailed down. And it is hot. It's 97 degrees right now, and I'm certainly feeling it. But might as well keep going and get her done. That's what we do around here. Well, it is awfully hot here. It's 100 degrees today, but we got all of the base paint on the house. That's pretty exciting stuff all the way around. That was a big accomplishment. It took me about a day and a half to get the house done, but it looks pretty sharp, and I'm pretty happy with the overall end of it. Now we're just going to start working on the trim and getting all the trim work done, and see what we get done there. Hopefully it won't take us that long, but in this heat it makes it kind of tough because the brushes are drying out and the paint starts to scum over. So I'm gonna have to wait till morning to really get into the trim work. But as you can see here, I managed to get some done, at least around the doorway. Let's see here. I'll turn. See, we got at least around the doorway. I got tape around that, and I'm going to tape around all the windows and everything, so everything comes out neat and clean. But we're making progress. Well, I'm going ahead. I'm taping everything on the edge of these windows so that I don't get paint all over everything, because I'm not the greatest painter, and it's tiring work. And so I'm just going to tape everything off, and then we can paint freely without having to worry about it and make it look nice. Well, as you can see, I got the trim work done on the front of the house. It looks pretty sharp. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Overall, looks pretty good. Next up, I'm going to start working on the corner trim, and then on the belly band trim that goes across the gable ends of the house. We'll start working on that stuff next and see about getting that. But outside painting is coming together. It's looking pretty sharp. So after a couple of days of thunderstorms and rain, we are finally back to painting. We got the front done of the house, and now we're starting to move on to the corners and the belly band trims that go along this house, and also we're headed for the back. But we still got a little bit more trim work, and then we'll be done with all of the painting. But it's a slow process. I'm not a fan of painting, but we're making progress, and we will get her done. Anyway, it's nice to have it dry out here. Like I said, it's kind of a Montana weather. 4 days ago it was 97 degrees, and today it's 56, probably with a high of 70, which I'm not going to complain about. It's pretty nice to have the change in weather. But we'll get at the painting and start to wrap her up. Well, I'm on my final push here to finish off the painting. I've got just this belly band left to do, and then we are we're completely done with this. So we'll get at this and knock it out and be done with the painting. I'll be grateful to be done with it. Except for the shop, I still got some trim work to do over there, but at least the main house will be done, and then we'll finish off the shop. All right, well, we now have the house completely done. I'm really happy to have that completed, and now we'll move on to something new and exciting, which will be the shop trim, which I'm not going to show too much of that. It's the same thing that I just did here. I don't want to bore you with that, so we'll show you the shop when it is completed.
Look, Tom, I'm painting. I'm working.
Well, with that trim work done, the shop is done, and so is the house. Thanks to my superior painter here, we managed to knock it all out. I'm glad that I was here to have her do so much. She was kicking butt, so we got this done. Anyway, that wraps up our exterior painting for the house and the shop. It's a big job, and I'm glad we have it done. It's another thing off the list. If you like this type of thing, please remember to like and subscribe, and click the bell down below for notifications of when new videos are uploaded. And please make sure you leave some comments. We really do like to get them. Anyway, thanks for watching.